Says we're live, Fuzzy. Congrats.
Awesome. It's right about time to go live.
Right? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, nice.
Um,
Okay, so that's
some
going to
extra
be
people coming in right now as well, because I also sent out an email just now.
Mhm.
And I should also send up a sponsored message prior to this. Basically, let it run for each and every Wednesday, perhaps. But the way sponsored messages work right now is I'm not all too happy with it, but it's something we should definitely have another live on.
Yeah, indeed. It's interesting because we're going to partially talk about it also during this time.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, multi-channel, right?
Yeah.
Let me just open
that is
up
it.
some stuff right here. I think I got the. There we go. Now I only need to share my screen. Hold on. Do we have people on already?
That's what I'm actually trying to check, but I'm having also problems getting into this Facebook stuff.
Cool. Can see that the attendees are now coming in. However, there's Jerry watching with us. Jerry, congrats, man, with your new client. Really good to see you here. Right now, we still have only one person watching, so that's weird. Let's see. Okay, cool. Am I sharing my screen? No, I'm not. I thought I was sharing my screen. Cool. Awesome.
I'm not even sure what's happening right now. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool.
So that's a good start.
Well, yeah,
How is it?
sometimes you need to figure out where you are and all these things that need to connect to each other. In
Yeah,
order to
indeed.
give a presentation, just a lot of stuff you need to do in order to get the point across.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, for the people live right here, and for the people that are going to check this live as a recording, welcome to this Facebook Live. We are going to keep it extremely simple today. As you know, we usually do 2 trainings per month where we go a little bit more in depth in a specific feature, a specific concept. However, we also have 2 Q&A sessions each and every month. That's 2 times. And this is one of them. But in order to not talk to each other for like 5-10 minutes, we obviously have some questions. But for some reason, there's not a lot of people
Yes.
on for now. So there's 4 people, and they're slowly coming in. But we wanted to
See
talk about
Christina.
some stuff, which is multi-channel marketing. But let's just let me first ask, how are you doing, Fauzi?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Stefan.
Nice.
It's getting hot. Summer is coming.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I just hope we can enjoy the beaches with an EA, not with
Yeah.
an I.
Yeah. Nice. Good.
Again.
I'm used to your accent already, so I knew what you mean. But that's good that you actually think about this stuff.
Yes, it must be understood in a different way. This is not what we mean. We just
I,
mean the nice beaches with the sea and
yeah,
sand
yeah,
and the good
yeah.
stuff.
Some people enjoy the beaches, though. Anyways,
Yeah,
man,
so we're looking forward
something
to
cool, yeah.
that this summer will be a normal summer for
Yeah,
all of
I'm
us.
actually going off the grid this weekend for just a couple of days. I think it's this weekend we're just going to France for a couple of days and really get disconnected from all of it.
Yeah,
So there's so there's no internet
yeah, mentioned
connection.
that.
There's no telephone or whatsoever. I think it's good for a human to actually do that
Yes.
once in a while, and it has
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
yeah, it has been a very long time since we last did it. So to disconnect, yeah, sometimes I think is a good idea.
I just hope that you don't like the disconnection experience and you keep disconnected right after
I
that.
think it's healthy. But then,
Some people change their minds actually. They just give it a try and they find that living without all these communication means is
it's the way for them, yeah. But
yes to go and
since we're running a
yeah.
company that
It
messenger
should not
chatbot
happen.
communication and marketing, I think it would be kind of weird if the one of the founders is not there all of the time, sitting in like some sort of cabin in the
Forest in
yeah.
France.
It would be weird.
Yeah,
So
indeed.
let me just give some shout outs. Jerry is saying, thanks, guys. Again, awesome to see you here. Jerry, we can see
Mhm.
Christina as well. We can see Miles. Miles, hope you're well, man. Has been a while. Hope Bot Life is still treating you well. Um, yeah, I'm not sure if people got the email or whatever. If there's
Mm.
not enough people on, we're just going to cut it short and we're just going to talk about some stuff until
Yeah, for the
yeah
yeah.
for the time being, and then once we think okay this is it, then we're going to put some of our energy into making Clever Messenger even better.
Awesome.
We got 5 people on right now. Let me just go right here and go to the agenda. So we have some things we would like to ask our people, the people that are live right now. Um,
Yeah, so we've been hearing multi-channel marketing a lot lately during the past months. That's been a big thing, especially in the Messenger community. So I'd like to ask you guys, did you try yet to have an experience with multi-channel marketing from your Messenger chatbots? By multi-channel, we mean any additional channel to the Messenger channel that you already have with your Messenger chatbot, obviously. It can be SMS, it can be email, it can be voicemail, or any other mean that you use to actually reach your subscribers. So in the meanwhile, we ask someone. Probably, I would ask this question to you, Stefan.
sure, yeah, I'm your best friend today, man.
Yes,
Definitely.
thanks. Feels good to have someone to lean on, at
Yeah,
least.
right. Like
Back.
imagine if you do this, do these things by yourself, which happens in some of the competing groups as well, right? And there's
Yeah.
no real interaction. Then
So
you
what
just
happens
popping
right
up,
then?
yeah. Then you just
Let's
popping,
just finish.
and then you need to go again.
Yeah, this is it.
It's weird.
No interaction. Okay, let's finish this live.
But
So we're done.
yeah, and now we have
This
each other
time
to talk about stuff.
yeah.
I can see Eric Strickland. There you are again, buddy. He's saying good morning. Good morning, man. I
Good
hope
morning.
this time around you received the T-shirt already. I hope you did because I sent it like almost a month ago, and it was sent to you according to our system. So let me know. Peter is saying he is using email and SMS next to chatbots, I presume.
Nice. Oh, that's actually good. So we have someone who actually uses multi-channel.
Yep,
That's the
that's
first win of this live course.
good. Nice. And we do it too as well, right? So
Of course, yeah.
we use email. We actually send emails from our flows as well. We do some other cool stuff like SMS. Um,
You even
even
used
in the
voicemail.
yeah, like
Voicemails.
IVR, like voice recordings and all that good
Yeah.
stuff. That's something we're doing. Um,
So
depending
Peter.
on whether you actually came into Peter to carry pigeons. We like pigeons. Nice.
Of course.
Definitely cool. Yeah, but I wanted to just finish my thing right here. Depending on when you actually came in as a customer, we change things around. And how the setup is right now, if you actually go to clevermessenger.com page and you interact with the chatbot and you leave your phone number and your email, you get a series of different automations that actually try to convince you to become a Clever Messenger customer, of course. And it's converting very well for us. a very is doing a very good job,
Yeah,
and I think, I think I should say we think it has to do because it's indeed of that multi-channel effect, right? Because we're
yeah,
not only using Facebook or Clever Messenger as to send out messages, but
yeah.
we're also using SMS. We're using these follow-up voicemails. We are using Facebook
Email,
ads, Instagram ads,
voice
email,
blenders.
and
Yeah,
that's already five different ways to actually follow your customer around. And I think it really is there nowadays, like a multi-touch experience. I think we even mentioned this in our sales copy as well, that everything is a multi-touch experience, and people really need to see you and your brand at least 7 times, right, in order to start
yeah,
taking note of you.
indeed. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for answering that, Stefan. I had an idea that we were using more than one channel in our chatbots. It's always good to get the confirmation and all the details from you, Stefan.
Yeah.
Seems that he is using email and SMS. So I would like to ask you, Peter, how did this go? How did you implement it? You mentioned already the email SMS, so which channels you already mentioned that.
Mhm.
And are there any results to share? Is it really worth to have this multi-channel marketing in your actual bot? So Stefan mentioned that it's worth it already.
Mhm.
From the results that we have been seeing from our conversion rates, there is a big difference between when we first started with only Messenger and when we added the multi-channel experience. We have seen a big increase in terms of sales and conversions as a whole.
While Peter is answering,
Mm,
hopefully, um, one of the coolest things we've seen is probably the voice drop, right?
yeah,
Do you still remember that the first time around we actually screwed up because
yeah,
then we did something in our code or in our setup that actually kept sending those text messages and it spammed people to death. And luckily, it were only a couple of people that actually noticed or were hit. I think even Peter was one of the people that actually got hit by that as well.
got hit
Uh,
really hard of
yeah,
that.
and after that, we actually managed to do a good campaign. And what we saw after that was really blowing our heads right off, right? I mean, the moment we send out that voice drop, we actually have it set up in such a way that the moment we send out that voice drop, it hits your phone, it leaves a ringless voicemail. And then simultaneously, because the voicemail is about 30 to 60 seconds long, after that time is over, we send another message with Clever Messenger. At that moment, usually once they hit that or end that voice drop, they immediately are still or they are still on their phone and they immediately get that pop-up on Messenger as well, which is just really cool to
Mind
see.
blowing. Yeah,
And what happened is that of the I think 200 people that actually got that voice drop, around 180 actually seen that next message as well without even doing a broadcast. So
yeah.
that's a crazy open rate as well.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, even if the person doesn't listen to the voice drop right away when they see the message, so just a moment of seeing that message on Messenger, I think the message was something like, did you see or did you get our voicemail?
Mhm.
Like we had something for you or whatever that was there. And people checked, actually, they didn't sometimes notice the voicemail, but when they got the Messenger message, they went and actually heard the voicemail and they were surprised. We got some feedback on how like people, how did you do that? That was cool. That was amazing.
Also, some people from
So
Australia or New Zealand that were kind of mad because at that time when we sent the SMS, that actually was at I think 2 a.m. like in the night, right? So
yeah,
people actually woke up because we sent them a call and a voice drop. So that wasn't really good. So that's why.
yeah. So we didn't use the time travel
Yeah.
broadcast feature, Stefan.
Yeah.
We had to use it, but we
That's
were too excited. Sometimes just when you want to try something new and something you think is really good, you get excited. You just need to click on the buttons and send.
yeah.
Just to see what
I
happens.
can
Yeah,
see that Peter in the meanwhile answered. Thanks, man. So just getting started with multi-channel and bots, he's saying, and it can be a monster process to create with the integrations, but our test campaign was a 5 times return on investment. Holy, holy, holy Fruit Loops, because that's huge. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, if you get 5 times a return, that's extremely huge. So now trying to map an all-inclusive bot SMS at email strategy, man, you are going to love it. If it's you just need to keep it simple. It's all in those multi-touch things. We are skill minus here, so it's taking a bit longer. Okay, I can understand that. I can understand where you're coming from. Yeah, definitely. So, is there something you would like to say about that, Fauzi? I think 5 times is something we have seen as well.
Yeah.
In terms of response rate, we did not track return on investment yet with this setup we're doing, but we're tracking open rates, we're tracking clicks and all that stuff. And we see a 5 to 6 times increase as well on that note. If that actually is going to translate in more Salesforce on the same multitude, on the same, then it's going to be very interesting because I would like to see that as well. I'm wondering how you actually did the
Yes.
what the test campaign involved.
That's what I wanted to actually,
Okay.
ask. Yeah.
Uh,
Because sometimes, I mean, there are strategies to use, right? Some people like to hit under all the channels at the same time. Like you just go very aggressive, use Messenger, SMS, email to send whatever offer you have under the same day. Some people have to have it, like to have these
sure.
things working together. Like first you send a Messenger message, then you wait for some time. Then it's like you have a sequence of channels.
Mhm.
First you start with Messenger, then after a certain time you go with email, then after a certain time you go
And you
with
can track that, right? So if there's no response on Messenger, then we
yes.
try this channel.
This is the this is the thing. So
Yeah, you
some
need to
people
mix
use it
things up.
to use it to actually reach people who didn't reach on the other channel, but some people just use it to hit them all under the same channel.
Mhm. You
I'm not
see
sure
that
which strategy would
a good
work.
explanation is we're actually trying to hire a new content writer, and Kath, our HR department head, is actually doing a good job on getting new candidates. However, she had trouble. She didn't get a reply back from this new candidate we actually really wanted to talk to. She didn't get a reply on our email. She didn't get a reply on Messenger. I think she even texted the guy and tried to call him as well. But then finally today, she got a hold of him on Skype, which is
Interesting. Yeah.
extremely. I mean, it's another channel, but
Yeah.
um, and as a side note, that's how far we go in order to actually get new people on board. If we really want you, we are going to chase you. Um,
I'm not even sure if that's a good start.
but
Being
that's, I
able
mean,
to reach it.
what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say is that this guy actually needed to,
It's a good example. Yeah.
yeah, needed to get hit from multiple channels as well.
So in that sense, would that have made more sense to hit him under all the channels at once? Then whatever channel he sees first, he will reply to that. Or the thing that we did here, so you go to a channel, this person doesn't react to that channel, then you go to another channel as you continue like this.
It's less intrusive. It really depends on your strategy. I mean, if you're
Mm.
going to hit everyone at the same time from all those channels, I think it's very aggressive. And that can work. It really depends on your strategy. Let's say that there is a launch or a special offer that's ending, and you are really ending that offer with an
Mm.
urgency, right? With the scarcity is kicking in.
Yeah.
There's a timer on the page that's counting down. I think at that moment in time, you really want to be aggressive and want to hit them on all channels so that there's more pressure on it, there's more stress on it, and people really get the feeling like, oh, this offer is
Mm.
ending and I really need to act now. However,
Mm.
if you're building up, let's say it's the similar offer, but we do a pre-launch, And we do like some build up, some hype building, educational videos or whatever. I think it would be better to be less aggressive, like
Okay.
hit them with a messenger bot message first, then try SMS if they did not see that first video, for example, and
Mm,
try to get them in that sequence. Try to be very subtle and just try and see how you can slowly warm them up. I mean, they don't know you yet, right? I mean,
yeah.
especially new people that have never seen you before don't know you, and they first need to know, like, and then trust you. And if they trust you, they will be usually confident enough to actually invest um,
Mm.
in your product and actually in you,
That's
right? Yeah.
yeah, that's a very good way of looking at it. So I mean to summarize what you've just said, if I understood well, so to build up the relationship, you first need to be subtle, like you hit them from different channels, one after the other. I mean, you don't have to go at all of them at the same time, so that you don't actually push your that person off.
Mhm.
But then when you build that relationship and the person trusts you, trusts your brands, trusts your products, and wants to know about your offers, whatever stuff, then
Mhm.
you can actually go aggressive at that time
Mhm.
and just hit them up aggressively when you have an offer that you think is going to interest them based on
And there's
the
also the
relationship that you've created.
tonality you use in those messages, right? So I'm not saying
Mm,
that you should spam and use all those channels to um, really, yeah, spam them. I mean, spamming in all cases is just wrong. Um,
yeah.
but at that moment, let's take that example again. If you have that offer and you build up that momentum and that trust and that they now know, like, and trust you, the if you hit them in that urgency moment and you hit them very aggressively, they will understand because they feel that you are really, and you are doing it for them, like you don't want them to miss it.
Mm,
But if
yeah.
you are going to start with this, it's like it's like a mouth and you're shoving it down their throat. It
Yeah.
doesn't work that way. It means it's like a relationship. If you're going to start dating with a new girlfriend, you are not going to go all in right away, right? I mean, that's not how it should. You need
Probably
to you
it
need
works
to
the
court,
opposite probably in relationships.
right?
You
I
have
mean,
to start very hard
you
and
need to
aggressive.
court people a little bit. Yeah, you need to flirt. You need to really have people to yeah, get to know each other, and that's in business. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It makes a lot of sense actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Taking a look at the chat right here, Speed there is
Mm.
on a messaging spree. Really appreciate it.
So
Is there a
Peter is
secret
asking
to the
some,
timing of
yeah.
the sequence of the channels posting? That's a good question. You want to take that, Fauzi?
Well, I
Depends.
wish I was a marketer. This is a subject that is a bit out of my scope. That's why you see me asking all these questions to Stefan, and he actually clears stuff to me, and I'm learning on a daily basis from him about marketing stuff and all the tips and tricks.
Yeah, but
So
I think you have like sometimes. I mean, I was creating a page today, right?
yeah,
And you had like a very smart remark. I think it was basically positioning a logo on top, like if we were the guy, the company actually standing on top of the other company, which is like a very well, yeah, it's like a very deep thought, but I can see that happen on a very neurological level in terms of sales psychology.
yeah.
um so yeah, you don't need
Although,
to sell yourself short because you do have a lot of
yeah, of course. I mean, I'm very good with what I do, of course. But I haven't sent a lot of sequences to
Yeah.
be able to answer that particular question. I always
Okay,
give
I can
opinions
I
on
can
some
give
market stuff. Yeah.
you some notes though. I think it more or less works similar to email marketing. Now, I do not want to say that messenger chat marketing is the same as email marketing because it really isn't. However, there
Mm.
is some things which are basically rule of thumb once sending out a message, and that's why you see most people sending out a message at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Eastern time. Because if you're in the Eastern time zone, that is because our um, audience is primarily in the United States, we're actually using that 11 a.m. Eastern time. So um, if you're located somewhere else in the world, it's still the same. 10 and 11 a.m. People usually check their messages, their email. So the highest chance of getting your message read is at that time. Then it
Yeah.
happens after lunch, directly after lunch. At lunch, they are actually eating their sandwich. Some people are watching YouTube, yada, yada, yada. Then after lunch, they're going to check their messages again. So it's WhatsApp, it's Messenger, it's email. So 1 p.m., 1:30, send another message. Perfect. Then before they stop working, which is around 4 to 5 p.m., just before 5 p.m. And then after dinner, which is somewhere between 7 and 8 p.m. These are basically yeah, basically spots I would definitely set my blast to go out on, because those really get you the most eyeballs, and it's about getting the most attention on those times. Obviously, there's a lot of people also fighting for those times, but that's where copy and persuasion actually comes in.
In that sense, I'm going to ask you, Stefan, a question, and you can ask me also the same question. And I'm also asking you guys in the chat to have an answer for this question. So when you wake up and you check your messages, which order do you go first? Is it Messenger, email, WhatsApp, or email, WhatsApp, Messenger? I mean,
Oh,
which
very,
platform do you start?
very
Do you start
interesting
with?
question.
So I'm going to start with Stefan. Which one do you check first?
It's actually fun. Once I actually wrote the sales copy for Club Master, I think almost 2 years ago. It's actually mentioned in the copy as well.
Hmm.
We actually did a test right here at home. And
Okay.
first, I was taking a look at my girlfriend.
Hmm.
What is she doing when she wakes up? She obviously turns out her alarm, tries to sleep in, tries to snooze again. But after that, she opens up her phone, and WhatsApp is primarily used right here in the Netherlands. So she opens
Hmm.
WhatsApp the first time. She checks her mail every 3 days or so.
Okay.
So that's only
That's
second. So
interesting. Yeah.
it's a messaging app first, then it's social media, usually Instagram for her, and then
Hmm.
it's email. For me, it's a messaging app. It's either Messenger, Slack, WhatsApp, also in that order. Um, then it's social media, and then it's email. Email at the
Okay.
very very
So,
last.
okay, interesting. That's actually a good insight. Actually, it will be surprising, but I'm checking emails first.
You're checking emails first.
Yeah, I do check emails first, then I check Messenger.
That's
Right
interesting.
after that, then I check Slack. Yeah.
Nice. We got some.
But it also depends because sometimes you also expect some replies from one channel and not the other. You're, for example, expecting an important email. So you're opening up the email every day or every few hours. Sometimes you're expecting a message from a friend or from a business on Messenger.
Mhm,
Then you keep looking at Messenger first. So this, what also happens is that this is also a change in trends from day to another.
mhm.
It is a general one, of course, depending on your habits, but every now and then it actually change, and you are also able to make that trend change from your user as well. So you can make it so that that user opens up Messenger first or email first, depending on the
Really depends on.
kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, offers that you're actually sending, the
I
value
just
that you
do
actually
want
provide.
to intervene right there. Habit is hard to break.
Yes.
Though, and what's happening right now with these messaging apps already? Oh, I think it was 2015. They were already more important than or more frequently used, I should say, than when you compare it to social media. And social media actually trumped email long before that. So messaging apps are being used way more. However, what you're trying to say is that can't we use that same example we did before as well? Let's say that you are interested in a specific offer. You left your email with us, and you're very hyped about that offer, and
Yeah.
you know that it's going to go live on a Friday once you actually submitted your info on a Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
because you're so hyped and you're so excited, I'm definitely sure that you're going to check your email, yeah, more frequently because you really want to know when that offer is going to be available for you to purchase, right?
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. And it would have been really good if we had a tool, or if we are able to create a tool that actually knows the behavior of your subscribers, that you know when to target them. And that would be really amazing. Maybe we get to that point.
Oh yeah.
We got few answers actually. That's actually good. So yeah, Peter Julian. I think we had some messages from him before. So
Yeah,
not
so
all
this is
firing
not
same
this.
time.
So let me just take
Just
you
go.
right
Sure.
here. Not
Go ahead.
firing at the same time. I think we answered that indeed. It really depends on your strategy, Peter. I would go for a slow drip, indeed, a conditional drip at first. Then once you really want to push the urgency or a scarcity rather, then hit them all at the same time so that they are followed by you and your ads and your messages all over the place. So I think that's a good way to do it. Then we have Jerry asking, would you both mind me asking my specific question about my active campaign user issue? And then it will continue in a later thing. So we will get there in just a bit. Caroline is saying text, then email. Yes. Scott is saying
Interesting. None of us
WhatsApp.
actually mentioned texts.
Well,
Actually.
I consider text mostly like WhatsApp Messenger. For me, it's all the same. It's
Mm,
messaging, right?
yeah.
I'm not sure if you think that's
Well,
similar, Caroline.
because I mean, I always have a distinction between them. I usually think that SMS was,
SMS is text, right? Especially,
yes, SMS has, yeah, and it's
but that,
always like, I mean, important stuff. It has, in my mind, a little bit more importance or urgency than the other stuff. So when I always receive an SMS on my phone, I check it right away.
okay, cool. Yeah, same
But
here.
I don't,
I think it really
yeah.
depends on where you are coming from because it depends on the rules of the country. Like in Europe, it's like fairly early on, it was quite impossible to spam people to death with offers and all that stuff. And companies would actually get sued if they would do so. And I think it's the same in Morocco, where you are coming from.
Yeah, we don't receive a lot of SMS.
Yeah,
So that's why when you receive them, it's actually a good point. You think
yeah.
that something is really
Now,
important.
if you go back to if you compare it to the states, I think they get more and more, actually, a ton more SMS or texts
Hmm.
as opposed to we get right here in our side.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah.
yeah. I'm not sure. It's something we
Or
need.
maybe Caroline can actually give us a better insight there. Why do you actually check text first? I mean, if you mean by text SMS and not the other
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't use WhatsApp.
text base. Yeah.
Yeah. So Scott is actually saying, "What's up, coffee?" Good. Always get your coffee. A messenger and
Yeah.
then email. Nice. I generally check my email only when someone messages me that they have sent me something or if I'm expecting an email.
Okay.
Sounds familiar. Sounds really familiar. I do only have set times when I actually check my email, which is in the morning. Actually, I never or rarely check it on my phone. I Before I start with work, I just check it. If there's like an urgent message I need to reply on fast, I will reply there in the morning. Otherwise, it's after lunch. I do some emails. I send those, and it's just for an hour. If I don't complete all the emails, then it's fine. I just don't want to be emailing everyone. It's just so time consuming. It's
Yeah,
something we
indeed.
rarely don't use. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So we got a question from Jerry.
Yeah. You want me to read it, and you're going to take it because I
I've already read it. So, Jerry, for that particular concern, I think support will follow up with you. I'm going to make sure that I will go over this myself as well. Last time I've checked Active Campaign, we had the custom fees successfully being sent from Clever Messenger to it, along with the name and phone as you just mentioned. So I'm going to make sure that I'll try it one more time, but also just create a ticket and I'll keep you updated on
nice.
that ticket. Yeah.
It does seem that the video I created for you, Jerry, is related to that. I'm not sure if I missed something, but again, I show you in the video how to send over the additional custom fields. But I'm not sure if it's not working, then it might be an issue. Then Fauzi is going to help you out with that issue. Thanks for your question, Jerry. Appreciate it. Always love you being around. Again, Jerry closed a new client, guys. I think it was
Congrats.
I think it was a chiropractor this time, and he closed a new client for quite some fun. So Jerry is on a roll. Really good job.
Nice.
Um,
Congratulations.
Scott is saying my observation about email: very few people under 50 years old use email. We can see something similar. They do still use it because it's like an identifier. It's like your mailbox, right? It's a digital mailbox. But this is where you receive your invoices. This is where you receive imported letters. Most of the government stuff is not even tangible anymore. Yeah, some of the text stuff, but most of those messages are nowadays also just digital. Right here in Europe, that is. So we do still need those, but for work purposes, you have Slack. We continuously use Slack. We're only on Slack. We're not using email for anything work related. Perhaps like sending a message or scheduling an appointment. They get an update via email as well, just to make sure. But I'm not sure. But good observation. Caroline says, I don't use WhatsApp. If you don't need it, don't use WhatsApp. They do come out with a new payment feature. I think they're testing this out in Brazil, right, Fauzi?
Yes, in Brazil, they started in Brazil. Yeah, it's pretty nice experience to actually go through.
Mm-hmm.
Sending payments, just like sending messages, this is the value that Facebook is claiming.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, if it makes its way into WhatsApp, it will make its way into Messenger.
Yeah.
That's the first touch base. And I'm really looking forward to see what this feature will actually bring. It'll be really interesting to us.
I'm not sure if you already have something in Morocco as well. Um, we use here in the Netherlands something called Tiki. It's basically an intermediary app which allows you to send money quickly through friends.
Yeah,
That's
we have a
what
lot
we're
of
using.
payment systems. That's go with your mobile phone with email stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
It's getting more and more popular actually, especially with your mobile phone. Like you have a number, you send money to that number, and it just goes right away instantly. It's being a trend actually. So yeah, I think Facebook is going to get a very big part of that trend or that.
Yeah, you're saying that continuously. I think that Facebook is getting a lot of pushback on that. It's already happening from in the U.S. U.S. government is already pushing back on that because they know that Facebook has 2.8 or 2.3 billion users right now, which is I think 20% of the entire world population, and it's still growing each and every day rapidly. If you give a company also the power to process payments like they want to process payments, it's just a very, very, very
It's
dangerous.
already a game. Yeah, it's an unfair game that is already starting.
Yeah, and I don't mind,
Yeah.
but people, especially with it's a dollar valuation kind of thing, people are because they want to launch probably their own coin or their own currency in the time they are afraid that the dollar or the euro is going to be damaged by that.
Yeah.
So I think there's pushback on that. Vasily is saying, yo, how are you guys? And does a thumbs up. There you go,
Yeah,
Vasily.
we miss you around Vasily.
Uh-huh.
It would be great to actually see you more on the next lives.
Yeah.
You always have good insights and questions and comments. So please keep them up. I mean, keep them up in the next ones.
I'm
Hopefully.
saying we'll catch up this evening having dinner now. It's a typical Dutch time to have dinner.
You guys have a very early. I'm not
Yes.
sure how you even
Actually, I
managed
think
to stay.
you're from Greece, right? So usually, I mean, you're people from Greece actually eat way later in the day. I think it's 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And we have Jerry replying to Jerry. That's also cool to see. I'm creating custom fields in active and matching that in Clever. Again, Jerry, do a support ticket. This way, your stuff is only going to be dug under by other comments. So it's best to, if you didn't already, create a ticket in the system. This way, and I think Bernadette is also watching. Bernadette, if Jerry has a ticket in the system, can you tag Fauzi in that ticket as well so that he actually checks it out?
Thank
Um,
you.
Rob is here. Damn, I'm almost forgot about the Q&A session. Well, you're here now, and you can always do the replay. If there's any questions, Rob, you always have the most interesting questions, and we're more than happy to answer those. Scott is saying, yes, I have an email for important messages and another that I've never checked for everything else. Well, sounds like me, dude. I got the same
Yeah.
thing. I got like a company email and a personal email I actually use as important, but I do have like 2 or 3 spam emails which I just use for quick test and dummy accounts and all that stuff.
So
Um,
in that sense, now that we mentioned this, how do you make sure that you will get the important email from Facebook when you ask about your? So you're going to ask your subscriber to give you his
mhm.
or her email to follow up later on email. How would you make sure that they give you the email that they check the most, and not the email that they use for spam?
I think it's quite safe to state that a Facebook email
Mm-hmm.
needs to be a proper email. I mean, fairly at the beginning of Facebook, people were a little bit hesitant in sharing their email because their email address was something personal, and you don't
Yeah.
and spam was more of a thing. And if you were too loose with giving out your email, a lot of people would just add you to the spam list, and people would basically bury your entire email under the spam messages. Nowadays it's not the case anymore because there's a lot of anti-spam companies that actually fight against this stuff, and people are more loosely to give their real email address, and that happened some years ago. And once the actual search of more account creation on Facebook was there, I think a lot of people actually added their own real email address to Facebook. So in that sense, a quick reply, an ask for email address card in Clever Messenger, asking for their email address with a pre-populated email address from Facebook, I think is the way to go.
Yes, because it's much easier to just click on a button that just writes your spam email, right?
Exactly. That's exactly the case.
Usually we humans tend to go with the easier option. And I would also safely think that the email that is linked to your Facebook account is usually an email that you check because you get security
Yeah.
links through Facebook there, and you get all the good stuff from Facebook that you actually need to
And
watch. So yeah,
that's also Facebook, right? Facebook is now also part of our online identity.
yeah,
And people need to have control over that and want to keep that safe. So they are using their real email address, not some shady looking email address, because it's their own identity and they
yeah.
want to keep that safe.
Yeah.
One email address that I think has even more value is probably LinkedIn, especially if you're in the B2B. For some reason, in my mind, it's even a little bit higher chance that you are likely to get an email address from that, which is their proper real email
Mm.
address.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm thinking that, but
Yeah. So it's more business oriented. I
yeah,
mean, yeah,
yeah. Checking
that's
some
actually good.
questions.
Hmm.
Congrats, Jerry. Yes, Vasily. Okay, Facebook released their payment platform in Brazil this week. That's right, Vasily, on WhatsApp. Yeah, it's always during dinner time. Dinner is the only hour I'm not working. Cool.
Yeah, so you have to
Next,
enjoy it, obviously.
I think we're We're
Yeah, so actually that went pretty well. Actually, way better than expected.
the interaction. I mean, like
Yeah, the interaction was,
we had
yeah,
a slow start. Then once people came actually on,
yeah,
some nice engagement. I really love to have more people on and engage with each other. And thanks for participating in these questions, guys, because we really want to understand how, if you're already familiar with multi-channel marketing, how you're actually using it. This way we can share some of our thoughts and what we are actually doing it. And then in time from this data, we can actually create a proper training about that, that really fits all of you guys and helps you guys ultimately grow your business as well. At least that's the point of these Q&As, getting more
yeah,
ideas from you guys on where you have your issues with and where we can help with, so that we can actually craft some really good trainings in terms of
mm,
other Facebook Lives.
yeah, indeed.
But this was your
Cool.
brainchild. This is why did you actually came? How did you actually come up with this thing? This is
This is something that just comes, Stefan.
yeah,
This is what we call give and take.
that's nice.
Yeah, awesome. So we got something from Scott. I would like to request WhatsApp for additional channel. We would really love to give WhatsApp as an additional channel if this is opened up from Facebook. It's seen in a beta program. And just like we said in the previous lives, you're most likely to see Instagram as an additional channel than a WhatsApp as an additional channel, because we are seeing a lot of signs of WhatsApp getting ready to be integrated with the
Instagram.
messenger. Yeah, just I think 2 days ago we saw something under the our development account inside Facebook, where we had a new Instagram tab that was added. So we're expecting things to go very fast for Instagram, and this is something that you will probably see very, very soon. WhatsApp, there are still some challenges on Facebook's and the team behind it. So what we're hearing is that it's going to take a little bit more time to be there.
Yeah. On that note,
Obviously, it's yeah,
I'm adding something right here. And I'm tagging you. I actually replied. I think it was to to Simon Lewis, and I replied with this thing because he was actually requesting or asking, inquiring about adding WhatsApp as an additional channel as well. But this is what I actually replied. There's a lot of information on what they want WhatsApp to be and what they want Messenger to be, and Fauzi actually mentioned it already. You can actually we actually see Instagram integration happening way faster than the WhatsApp one, because yeah, it's all in that message I just sent you.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
a
It
lot of
also looks like WhatsApp also has its own ecosystem
mhm,
that it lives in. It's still very independent from the other channels.
mhm.
However, Instagram is very much related to Messenger from the start,
Yeah.
and yeah, they have a lot of shared things. That's why the transition is easier.
And this is the
That's
same
right.
thing with like Instagram direct messaging is similar to Messenger, what
Yeah,
Messenger is to Facebook, right? So
yeah,
there's a
it is. Yes.
social network, Instagram, with a direct messaging system that works together, and that's where the actual power is. So can you already imagine like someone commenting on an Instagram post and immediately getting a message? I mean, that would be huge. It's probably even already possible in some of the illegal ways where you use those scrape kind of bots, which you obviously do not want to use because that will get your account banned. So
Right.
watch for software when it actually comes out that allows to manipulate the Instagram API in such a way that allows you to do that. It's not there yet. If it was, we will probably already have shown it to you and how that actually works. Um, but this is something that doesn't it's not the same for WhatsApp doesn't have their own social media or ecosystem. They do have their own ecosystem in a chance, and that's why they're actually adding the payment kind of thing
Yeah,
now to test things out. But I do
indeed.
think that they do that in order to test WhatsApp payment and then to push it on Messenger as well.
Mm, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah,
So Scott says that Latin American countries use WhatsApp as primary communication channel. Yeah,
correct. Yeah.
it's also the case in many places in the world that WhatsApp is actually gaining a lot of market share in terms of communication. I would
Mhm.
say the same here. It's like the main thing.
Europe,
Probably also in Netherlands,
Europe
the main thing.
similar. Are you going more towards Russia? It's more like Telegram and Signal.
Yeah,
In the United States, it's text is primarily the thing that's being used.
yeah.
I think India is also WhatsApp. Australia is not sure.
Yeah, since you mentioned Telegram, it's always good to ask. Do you guys use any of you guys currently in the life using Telegram, or have a portion of your contacts or customers or clients that are using Telegram? It would be actually cool to hear because we're seeing that Telegram is also growing very fast lately. It's getting a lot of traction. That's something that we need to investigate and see if it's something worth taking a look at.
I think it's more or less, like I said, Russia, Ukraine,
Mm,
Eastern Europe. All those countries are more like prone to using
yeah,
Telegram.
Telegram. Yeah,
There's this other thing as well, Signal.
yeah. Signal is kind of
Is there any
newbie in the
way to
market.
use communication
Yeah.
bots with LinkedIn other than an m.me link? Um, I think they do have some like underdeveloped bot kind of thing, but it's
They
something we
don't have that yet. What they do have is they're kind of unsponsored messages,
okay.
which you have to pay for actually inside LinkedIn.
Okay, so like in mail.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Scott is considering Telegram as well. Interesting, Scott. I would love to see like a possible scenario on how you would use it. The only way I can actually see this stuff working for other channels is to see if Telegram has a ton of users that are actually also customers. I mean, with WhatsApp, we know that there is a lot of consumer behavior as well as on Messenger,
Mm.
Instagram. There's a lot of people that are just it's basically consumer viable. You know that there's a lot
Yes.
of people that uh, are there to buy also products and are can purchase via that application. I don't know if that's the case for Telegram.
Telegram I mean, the biggest value of Telegram is it's used more of a group chat. So you have marketplaces, you have small groups that sell stuff, and they create Telegram groups where you can actually do the discussions and those stuff. I've even seen a full hiring system made in Telegram for which developers and clients connects to each other through that group there. So
Mm.
it's a little bit different on how it is used in business, but it's a very interesting way of using it. That's where I actually see the value. Yes, I think yeah, Scott actually said the same thing. So I see Telegram being used for group chats. Yes, indeed, it's a very major player in the group chat at this moment. Yeah.
Interesting.
Instagram, I agree. Messaging in Instagram is it's a friendly messaging still. We can see though a lot of business happening in Instagram because now I think most performing ads in terms of e-commerce are happening inside Instagram, not inside Facebook itself. So messaging is still personal, but I think since ads worked very well for Instagram for businesses, messaging will also work very well for businesses as well in Instagram. You see an ad in your newsfeed, you click there, you buy directly from, or you have a full conversation with the bot that uh, gets you through the buying process.
Mhm.
There's no, yeah, it will work for sure. Yeah.
Nice. I guess let me just take a look right here. Was a little bit sidetracked because for some reason I keep telling my girlfriend that at this time we always have a team meeting and we have a live, and that I'm not to be disturbed. but each and every Wednesday, I'm getting like a wait or like I need you to be here right now, and it's interesting. So this happened again, Fauzi. So it's
This is like
slowly
the 10th
becoming
time I hear
like a
it.
running
Yeah.
gag right here over at Clever Messenger. But next time I will ask and get her on the live as well, so that you can all see her. Anyways, guys, so this I guess
Mhm.
this is it for now. We actually planned on going live for 30 minutes in this Q&A, but once we see the engagement happening and we're talking a little bit more, then we actually extend that to at least 60 minutes. But we unfortunately reached that time. Yeah, Mark. I think we have been talking for 58 minutes right now, so that's cool. Guys, I want to, unless there's something you want to say and wrap up, Fazi.
It's good. I think we said a lot of things. I really like the engagement that was here, and
Yeah.
I wish that we could go for a longer time, but that will be for the next session that will
Mhm.
happen on Wednesday, same time.
Mhm.
So I hope to see you all guys there. If you have some more questions, please get them ready, concerns, whatever that goes through your minds.
Mhm.
And we'll be happy to actually share minds together and just go over them.
Yes. Brian,
Yeah,
thank you.
thanks, Stefan, for the insights. Really good stuff today. I've learned a few tricks and tips. It's
Nice.
always a plus.
Sure.
I think the community also appreciates that. So thanking you for your time there.
Yeah, but on that note,
Yeah.
I do have a lot of insights on a lot of things, but those are mine insights, and those are once it comes from me, it's best practice or stuff that we have seen working for us. It doesn't necessarily mean that it will work for you as well. I'm always a big advocate of testing stuff,
Mm.
testing, going back to the drawing board, optimizing, drawing some new plans, and then implement that into an existing funnel or strategy and see if that works better. Have a control, have a test, and see if that works better. Does it work better? That is going to be your new control, and repeat the process again. Um, there's a lot of tips I can give you, like the ones I've given to Peter earlier on the time frame where we actually sent out messages on specific times. But again, this is all best practice and what works for us. It doesn't mean necessarily that this also works similar in your market, in your country, in your whatever it is you do. So take that into account. Always, it's a good starting point. But if you can
Yeah.
see for yourself through testing what your best times are to, for example, hit a message to your subscribers, then definitely do so. Because yeah, it's better for you and it means better results for you as well.
Indeed, yeah. Yeah, always testing is king and has to
Mhm.
happen all the time. It's the only way you are sure about your results. And even if you are doing very well, this doesn't also mean that
Never stop
you
testing.
shouldn't test. Yeah, but just test. Maybe you can do even better
Yeah,
with the different
absolutely.
methods. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I
that's
guess
great.
that's it, Fauzi. Thanks.
Awesome.
Enjoyed this
Thanks to
one.
you as well.
To be honest
Mm.
with you, I didn't thought a lot of this subject, but it became very interesting. So you do have a thing for picking out the right subject. So thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it. And again,
Thanks.
guys, thanks for watching this. Brian, he says, thanks, guys. I'm saying thank you, Brian. Scott, thank you. Nicholas, thank you. Thank you, all the guys. Wasili, I hope your dinner was well and we're good. Thanks. All right,
Have a
guys,
nice one.
appreciate it. And I guess
That's it.
that's it. Let's stop the live right here. Okay, bye, guys. See ya.